about a thing, don't have to worry. You will never have to worry about a thing, don't have to worry about a thing.
Thought you should know that I would never ever go.
So you'll never have to worry.
As long as I care for the sparrows in the sky. Oh yeah. Don't worry. Said I never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread.
So you'll never have to worry.
Consider the lilies, how they grow. Whatever you need, your Father knows. Oh, come on, let me say.
Oh, you'll never. Don't you know you never have to worry? I will always be there. Oh yeah, said you will never have to worry. You will never have to worry. Oh, yes.
If you only knew what I do for you, it'd just be me and you, nothing that we couldn't do. If you'd only do what I asked you to, I would make your dreams come true. If you only knew. For so long I've been waiting to spend some time with you. You don't know, you cannot imagine the things that we could do. You can't even understand. If you would only let me in, I would do something special just for you. All you gotta do is say begin. I have so many plans for me and you. If you only knew. If you only knew what I do for you. It'd just be me and you, nothing that we couldn't do. If you'd only do what I asked you to, I would make your dreams come true. If you only knew. Why don't you? Can we go somewhere, just me and you? Just the two. Don't delay. It's your day. Would it be okay? Just let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Take you places that you've never been. Answer all of the questions you never asked. Oh, you never asked. If you would only take my hand. No more sorrow, no more pain. Never ever hurt again. I'll give you shelter from the rain. All I really want to say is I love you. Let me take you in my arms and just fly away. Ooh, never let you go, baby. Don't wake us tomorrow may never come. If you only knew I Just between you and me, this is love. There's no tricks. Ooh, this is love. Just between you and me, this is nothing. Ooh, there's no tricks. This love is. Just what do I have to do to let you know? Should I make your flowers grow? Should I make it rain or snow? Yeah. So many things I've done just for you. Forest green and the ocean blue. Just to show my love is true. Just between you and me, this is not. There's no trace. This love is so real. Just between. This is not. There's no tricks. This love is so real, yeah. Don't you know I taught the birds to fly, hung the stars up in the sky? Can you guess the reason why? Can you take more than a passing glance? Nothing is by happenstance, yet you think it's just by chance. Just between you and me, this is not no tricks. This love is so real. Between you and me, this is not. There's no tricks. This love is so real. Ocean deep, river wide, valley low and mountain high.
Wow.
Hey, y'all.
So first of all, we
Look.
need y'all to know that was not fake, okay? That entire time,
Let me tell
Primo
you.
making fun of me talking about I'm looking for stuff, I was.
Let me tell you something. Y'all have no idea.
This whole thing was broke.
The
Okay,
whole
hold
thing.
on. I wish I could have recorded that because like 10 minutes before the show, nothing. What did I say?
Nothing.
What did I say?
Nothing.
Nothing worked.
Not even
Nothing.
the internet.
Internet down. Camera broke. Seriously, y'all, nothing was working. Only but the grace of God, we are here tonight, right now.
What
okay?
up, Chimes?
What's up, Chimes?
What's up?
Man, we're so glad to be here with y'all, man. No, I'm
So
tell you
good
something.
to be here with
This is
y'all.
like the highlight of our
It
week.
is.
Every time to be able to
It
be with y'all,
is.
hanging out, chilling, laughing, joking, having fun.
Yes.
It is the best. And so
Hey,
I probably should be
everybody.
putting some of these comments up
You
here because y'all been
should.
chiming in already.
Already chiming.
And you know, it's like we
Love
haven't
the
even hardly did
chimes.
nothing yet.
Love
and y'all
the
already
chimes.
chiming. You know what I'm
Love the
saying?
chimes.
Oh, I think I got rid
I
of
think
something
you
just now. I didn't
did.
mean to.
I think you did.
I
I
just
think you
jacked
got
something
rid of
else
the
up.
live
Lord
intro.
have mercy. Well, we'll
you
see.
moving stuff
I
quick,
will fix
boo.
it. I will fix it another time. You know what I'm saying? Either way, here are some things that y'all said. Look at this. Are we done with the
You gotta
10-minute
print ad
pre-show?
broadcast.
The
Yeah,
question,
that's
the
right.
answer is yes, Primo. We did not have time for the 10-minute pre-show today because we were
We
scrambling,
didn't.
trying to make
around.
stuff work.
You know, John
what I'm
be
saying?
doing stuff. You
Look,
know,
look. I mean, Bobby had to tell us music wasn't even working. Here's the music now. You know what I'm saying? Nothing was working. Okay, and here's the reason why.
I don't understand.
The reason is because just before this,
As I said, John
had-
be taking gigs, man.
I had to speak. So I was preaching up
Y'all,
until like
John
8:30.
was preaching
you know what I'm
and it wasn't up until 8:30 because 8:30 was here, and I was like, "Where's John? Like, where are you?"
Yeah, it was bad. It was not good at all. See what I'm saying? Yeah, April did not use the bathroom beforehand.
didn't,
This
and
is
I
how
have
you
to
know,
go.
This is how you know it was bad. You know what I'm saying?
And I have to
she
go.
couldn't get up
so
and use the bathroom.
hopefully
you know
I
what
can
I'm
get
saying?
through this.
Hi, Madeline. Hi,
Hey,
Ebony.
Madeline. Hey, Ebony.
Hey, Horace.
What up,
yes,
Horace?
we need a set it and forget it mode,
Yes.
which we normally have. Normally everything's set up, but the thing is,
Listen,
I had to
he
preach
took.
downstairs in the
Listen.
basement.
He unhooked everything up here, took
Yes.
it down to the basement.
Right.
But y'all see, we got this camera in the back that
Right.
just came.
That's a camera. We haven't hooked it up yet.
yesterday,
Yeah.
so we didn't have time. So it's okay.
Yeah. It's gonna happen.
We
You know what
working
I'm
it
saying?
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who is running the John and April comments? That is us. I don't know if you hear us clicking. Like, it's either me or April. Like, during the time that we're actually doing the comments, like where we're talking, if April's talking, I'm looking through the comments and putting stuff up.
No,
and she
he's
does the same
saying
thing.
Who is actually doing the John and April comments?
Like who's the
Yes,
person typing that in?
yes.
Yeah, that's a person in an undisclosed location. We can't tell you about that person.
That's a secret person.
Yeah,
That's right.
we got
That's
a
right.
secret. We got a little secret weapon on the side that's do a little something for us. You know what I'm saying? We're
How
Bobby talking
dare
about
you
how
preach-
dare I preach before the show. You're right, Bobby.
That's what I'm saying.
I should've done that, man.
Listen. When he said, but see, I thought 7
Hey,
o'clock.
Kim.
I was thinking,
What's up?
okay, hey, Kim.
Yeah, it was at 7. But
I was
but,
thinking he'll be done in time. No.
Well, the problem is, hey, what's up?
What up,
Trisha
Trish?
and Elaine.
Elaine,
So I
hey,
guess the
sister.
problem was, and he told me beforehand that I would not be up to speak until like 7:30. So I didn't preach that long. I actually was finished preaching at 8:01, but they gave us an opportunity. I could not pass it up. They gave us an opportunity at the end today, and it was really nice of them. I thought it was great. So they asked us. They already know, the people that asked us to preach. They kind of know what we're doing with our couples ministry and all that kind of stuff, and they're aware of what's going on starting March 1. In fact, one of the people that invited me has already signed up. Him and his wife have signed up for our 30-day couples
Intimacy
boot camp, right? So he asked before we got on, hey, do you want to maybe say something about that? I said yes. And when I told him how much it costs, all that kind of stuff, he said, you know what I'd like to do? I think I would like to give away one of those on the show tonight to a couple. He said, in fact, we'll pay half. He's like, we'll pay half of it for a couple that wants it. I was like, oh, that sounds great. So at the end, when I was finished preaching, they let me talk. And afterward, the other guy that was on, so there were 3 preachers on tonight, right? 3 different churches who invited us. The first preacher was the one who said he was going to do this. When the other preacher heard he wanted to do it, he decided to offer his members half off of one too. And then the other preacher decided the same thing. So now we got 3 new people that are coming on this joint. So anyway, I was glad about that. That was exciting.
So John basically saying he went another 30 minutes talking about
That's
that.
what I'm talking about. I went much longer talking about that.
That's why.
But they shouldn't ask
don't
me that. That's like our passion,
But y'all
man.
don't
You know what I'm saying?
understand. This joker was over here plugging stuff in.
Plugging. No, well, first of all,
Plugging stuff
hold on.
in.
What we decided was, let's just have the show in the basement. Because it wasn't working. I couldn't figure out how to do stuff. Let's just
So
have the show in the
I'm
basement.
gathering my stuff to go down to the basement, and then
Right.
he comes up with all the cords, the the camera, all the stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, I was coming down.
I was like,
Y'all,
no, it wasn't working. We
I'm
were
telling
one
you.
chord shot. Anyway, we don't have time to.
But
tell
you
all
know
that.
what? Let me tell you, and I hope I get props for this, because normally I'm like, what is it? Why you don't have that going? Da, 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 da. I was very calm.
She
I
actually
did
was.
not get bossy,
That's true. Which
and
is,
I just
Can you admit that that's unlike you too?
that's what I just said.
Oh, you said that already? Okay, I'm sorry.
I was not bossy.
That's true.
And I just let him work his magic,
Thanks,
because
man.
John always ends up getting it
Right.
working.
even if it's on camera with everybody.
Even
seeing
if it's
it,
on
you know what I'm saying?
camera, for Primo to pick on you,
Even
you
if
know,
it's the first 2 minutes with no music.
for the
you know what I'm
chimes to
saying?
see you
Exactly.
looking, frantic.
Man, that
But
was
y'all,
so bad, y'all.
and the proof is in
Need a
the
little-
camera,
that's right.
because you can go back and look. I was dancing to the music. I
That's
was
true.
singing. I was looking at my little notes. I was, I was calm.
Oh my goodness. The point is that everything is fine. We're all
Thank
good,
you,
know what I'm
Ebony.
saying?
Thank you.
Everything's fine. Yeah. Good job, April. I agree.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Miss Deborah, good to see you.
good
good
to see
evening
you. Good
to
to
you.
see you.
I only have MoneyGram. What are you talking about? Who's talking about? I just need your account and routing number to send the money. Dude, I done gave it to you already. Where's the money, man? You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, David. Yes.
Well, anyway, you know what, guys? We're happy. We are very happy to be here. Ambry talking about only bosses can say I wasn't bossy. Exactly.
Look, I'm not even going to fake the
And then
funk
she
over
said
here.
boss move.
Okay,
You know
I'm
what
not
saying?
even going to fake it.
Well, April manages
you,
the classroom all the
Madeline.
time. What you say? Well, I'm glad everything
Thank
worked out.
you.
Yeah, I'm glad too. Yeah.
Whew. All right,
so
now I
tonight-
can calm down.
Yeah, right. Now, here's the thing. So everything is not on here, which is fine. Y'all don't care about that, right? Here is
Don't be
normally
pressing-
our,
What are
thing
you-
at the
why are
end.
you pressing
I
buttons?
want them to know that this is still working. You know what I'm saying? So
John,
get ready.
stop pressing buttons.
Hold on. Y'all get ready, because at the end, it's going to be a fierce, Team John and Team April. All right.
John, why are you pressing buttons?
Because I think it's important.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. We have our poll results, but these are old, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to get rid of these poll results.
See, we didn't even have time to put up the poll
Exactly.
results.
And then I'm going to pop this in. Now,
Okay.
here's the thing about this poll I need you guys to know. So since we started this whole thing with this Intimacy Bootcamp, we started a private Facebook group. It's called Couple Goals with John and April. If you want to join, you can just go in there, answer the questions, and we'll let you in. So anybody that's on this live, you can do that. we asked a question to that group this week. And we were trying to get sort of a temperature and an idea of what's kind of going on right now with you guys in terms of your intimacy as it relates to this pandemic. Because obviously we have been all home together and stuff like that. And we're just wondering, just a question about just date night, just to kind of get an idea. And so the poll was, how's date night been since lockdown?
Y'all, look at these results.
Look at the results,
You thinking
guys.
the 78% means it's you're not even reading. You just see 78%. You say, oh, that must be we having date night.
No, I can't even read it because it's so small.
It says
date night.
Date night.
What's
What's that? 78%. Okay, of the couples
Yes.
that took this poll.
Yeah.
78%, and then
And then
22% said we never
never skipped a
skipped a beat.
All right,
Okay.
so some people are keeping up with their date nights. Others are saying, nah. So I'd like to know from this group whether or not anybody had date night before lockdown and now they stopped it. Or was it that you weren't doing it anyway? You know what I'm saying? And
Oh
it's
wow,
like,
Ebony says she's with the 78%.
Lord have mercy. Come
Yeah,
on, Ebony.
I mean-
you're not supposed to admit that. Well,
Well,
you can.
well,
You can. That's
let's
fine.
talk about us.
Oh, well, maybe we should.
I mean, he over here talking about
Now,
we ain't had no date night.
I would say, I would say, well,
we
first
have
of all,
had family night.
well, we had a date night the other night with Saturday night. It was really late. We started at like 11. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of a date night with us
What?
having burgers and stuff and eating together on Valentine's. Well, we did on Valentine's Day.
That's true.
We
We
had
do
date
have
night
date
then.
nights,
But we definitely
but
have
they're not.
been
They're not.
as-
They're not. I guess they're not like planned out date nights. Like we say, let's
Sure.
have a date night.
Right.
I guess we always having date nights because we love to eat and sit up.
Right. That's true. But you're right. You are absolutely right about that. I'm not sure that we have been as deliberate about date night since lockdown.
Yes, but I like what Ebony just said. She said, "Oh, but we don't have a date night, but we still fire.
That's good.
You still on fire. You
Yeah,
still
that's true.
flaming.
Yeah,
you see
might
what I'm
not,
saying?
You might not need that if your stuff is. You
And
know
I'm
what
saying, I think
Next level.
we that date night is always with us. It's like we're always.
I agree with
in
that. I
mode.
think
Oh,
we
you know what I'm saying? That
constantly
mood.
have that going. There's no question about it. But the reality is that 78% are saying that. So what that says to me is maybe people need to worry about or think about their intimacy and be a little bit more deliberate about that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I
need to share this real quick to this group. Did you do that already?
No, I didn't. So let me
Yeah.
go do that right now.
I'm going to do it right now. Share it to a group,
Okay.
and it's going to go to this
Yep.
one right here
Mm-hmm.
and say post.
All right.
All right. So I forgot to do that earlier because of so much craziness going on. You know what I mean?
All right. Let's go ahead.
We,
and
we,
get
we
this
also
going.
need to share it to you. You know what I'm saying? I
Okay.
want to make sure. In fact, y'all, why don't y'all share?
Yeah, go ahead
Share
and do
this
that
with
now.
somebody and make sure somebody is watching this because this topic that we're talking about tonight, we think may be one of those topics that you will actually want to talk to people about and to hear and to see if your friend is able to communicate, connect with this one. That's what I wanted to say. I'm having a hard time getting my words together. You know what I'm saying?
All
I'm
right,
trying to
y'all.
share it with yours too, but I don't see
No,
it.
it's okay. All right. So let's get to it.
What counts as date night? That's a good question.
I mean, and like I said, it's whatever it is that you feel like is your time with your person. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because like you said the other night, it really was date night. We had burgers. We watched a good movie.
Right.
So it really was, and it was really nice. And the kids weren't with us
Bobby's
at the
asking
time.
the same thing. When you say date night, what are you talking about here? Like conversations only?
No, I feel like it's a night, like you specifically set aside time to be together.
Okay.
And you don't have your phones, you don't have your work. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we can be together, we got our computers and we're working, but we're together, we're
Yes.
chilling, whatever.
That's not date
That's
night.
not date night.
Right.
But date night is you get, food is always included in date night for me. Like it's got to
yeah,
be
I
some
agree.
specific good old food.
But look what
Fun
Dave,
food,
look at
right?
David. Look at David's thing. It depends. Is date night just spending the time together or doing something you don't already do on the regular? That's what I would say, David.
That's what I would say.
It's
It
doing something
is.
you don't
It is.
already do on the regular.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I said it's something like it's planned. It's a
Primo
little bit
said
more
out of the
planned.
house, no kids, no work talk. Topic of discussion is relationship, family. Okay.
Okay.
And Gabe just said getting
Getting
groceries
groceries
with
and-
no kids. Is that date night?
Hey, that
No.
could be
It could
a
be.
date. No, I think it could, and the reason why I say that is because it depends on you guys.
Right. It depends on
depends
what you
on
call.
you
Yeah.
two.
Yeah. If you,
You know,
guys
and
consider a date night as date
That's
night.
what I'm saying. Especially if you have little kids
Right.
and you get to actually go out by yourself one time,
But
even if
you're-
it's just to the grocery store.
But if you're caught up in the whirlwind of life and you haven't spent any time specifically on your relationship, that ain't date night. That's really the point.
no, of course not.
Just being with
Of
your
course not.
significant other. You know what I'm saying? What's up,
Valita!
family.
Hey, girl.
Good to see you, girl.
Oh, my
well, you know your
goodness.
picture at least. Okay, guys. So here's the topic for tonight. Okay, I won't have it on the screen, but that's okay.
Y'all, we weren't
It
ready.
doesn't even matter. You know what
Okay,
I'm
that's
saying?
all right.
Y'all love us anyhow.
Y'all
right?
love us. We
You know
love
what
our
I'm saying?
chimes.
Y'all been
Chimes.
with us since before we had any of these crazy things on the screen
That's
anyway.
true.
So, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't really matter.
Let me tell you, these chimes are
For real.
loyal.
Okay, so
Love y'all.
this is what we were talking about tonight. The title of tonight's thing is I Don't Know You Anymore.
Right. It has, Valita. You're right. Anyway.
It has been a while. You're right. That's true. Okay, so here's what we're talking about, right? Mm-hmm. And this is where we came up with this, and why we're even asking this question. Something happened this week.
Okay, you
Or
guys.
maybe it was last week.
I think it was this week.
it
It was
was
this week,
recent.
right? Kanye and what's her name?
Her name is man,
Kim?
what's Kim?
Kim.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kanye
and Kim are
I
talking
think
about
they're
getting a
talking about
divorce. No, they are.
Yeah.
I mean that I
What's-
love me
what's
some
one of
TMZ.
them
TMZ
filed
said
or
it, so
something?
it's true.
Yeah, TMZ always knows.
They be
When
knowing.
they break stories now,
Man,
it's like,
they be
you know what
knowing.
I'm
They be
saying?
having video and everything.
Right.
You know they even show video of Tiger driving his car.
Today? You saw it?
Yes, but it was just him driving. They didn't even put wasn't an accident.
Oh, it was
they
just him
put,
driving?
They just put an arrow saying
my
Tiger
goodness.
driving.
These
Like
guys, man.
they're gonna give you something.
Wow.
Okay. Anyway, so Kim and Kanye
Yes.
getting a divorce, whatever.
Yeah.
And Kanye said, well, let's talk about what we think. Because when I told John, he said, you know what? This probably started going downhill for them when Kanye became a Christian.
Yeah. It seems like it.
And he
You
said,
you actually asked me. You said, "Do you think this has anything?" That's not what you said. You made a statement. You said, "I think this really started when Kim started to say, when Kanye started to say things like, I don't want my daughters dressing like that."
that's when I feel like that's when it started going.
And I'm pretty sure we did an episode on this, or we did a kitchen
We did a
table
kitchen
or
table on
something.
this. We did because,
Yeah.
when he started saying that, Kim was like, I don't mind you having these changes in your life or whatever. I support that.
Right.
But then when you start putting that on us,
Right.
that's when it's a problem. And
Right.
I have to agree with her.
Right.
I agree with Kim because I
Yeah.
felt like you can't all of a sudden up and change your value system,
Right.
all your beliefs that
Right.
you had before.
Right.
And then all of a sudden now you're going to put them on us.
Right.
And now you're going to try to make us change and do what you're doing.
Right.
And we haven't had that conversion experience.
Right.
I
Yeah.
didn't think that was fair for him to do that.
So the point is, you think that's really where it started? It started really
I
going
do.
downhill.
I do. Because, they during that time, well, maybe that wasn't then. I
Well-
thought during that time they separated for a little bit.
I don't remember that. All I know,
I think
all
they
I know
did.
is there
Y'all
was
tell me if I'm right. I think they did.
Okay, so
for
there
a
was
minute.
another incident that happened where dude ran for president and had
just
kind of a breakdown that happened and
Right.
moved away and was in like Colorado or something like that. There was some whole thing, right? We
Yes.
don't know all the details.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
The point is, it seems like a series of events took place that it feels as though the person that Kim married when they first got married is totally different from the person now.
Definitely.
And so here's really the question for tonight.
But I'm gonna say this too.
Go ahead,
Because Kanye said this. So Kanye said, he was contemplating trying to figure out what
Wyoming.
happened.
Thank you, Tiffany. It was Wyoming. What did I say?
What?
Colorado. I said he was in Colorado.
Oh,
somewhere.
Wyoming.
It was in Wyoming. Yeah. And Bobby said too. Wyoming. He's still there. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Thank-
He's been
thank you,
crazy ever
Chimes.
since his mama died. Valita, you're right. When his mother died, that took him.
It seemed like that changed something
Yes.
major in him. That's a good
It
point.
did.
Yeah.
No, you are so right about
Anyway,
that.
who
Anyway,
you gonna
so he said that he thinks it started. This divorce was caused by him running for president.
That's what he.
That's what he thinks.
Okay.
And I wouldn't doubt it either. That was really what broke the camel's. What is it?
The straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah.
Almost that broke the camel's back.
It's possible.
That's what broke it.
Yeah. It may be.
Because he just seemed like he was just going. He just seems to go off on the deep end with everything.
Yes.
And so he
I
went
think
off.
he's a go hard type
He
dude.
is.
No matter
He's
what.
a go hard type
Yeah.
dude, and people like that. That's cool, but sometimes you can end up breaking relationships
Yeah.
when you go hard like that because you're wanting the person to do it too. You're
Yeah.
wanting the person to be all in like you,
Yeah.
but they haven't been converted.
We got to we
you know?
got to remember what Tiffany says too. He is clinically bipolar.
That is
Definitely
true.
true.
That is true.
But
That is true.
all of that's beside the point for tonight's issue because really, Kim and Kanye are just the backdrop for the subject. We're not necessarily going to talk about them only. We're just talking about in general.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Here's what we're asking: when you marry somebody and you guys think of each other a certain way, what happens? Sometimes this happens when all of a sudden you don't know the person anymore. They just change. They change dramatically. They're totally different than they were before. And the question is, you wake up that morning, you're like, oh, I don't even know this person anymore. I don't know who they are.
So the question is, did they really change, or were you just blind?
Right. So that's really the question. Is it possible that the person was already like that and you just didn't detect it
couldn't
or whatever?
see it?
Or does that happen sometimes where people literally just change? They grow apart and they decide they're not going to be this way anymore. What happens in that situation? What are we supposed to do as a husband and wife if I wake up tomorrow and April is not the person that I married?
Yeah, because
originally?
is that for better or for worse?
Well, that's what I'm asking. That's really what I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? when we say our marriage vows and we say for better or for worse, the question is, I don't think anybody has that in mind. But the reality is sometimes people change.
Yeah, and I see, Bobby saying that sometimes people change. But what do you mean sometimes people just change? Like, what do you mean by that?
Okay, well, there are a few things that I think happen, right? Okay. So like in the situation with Kanye, sometimes there are life challenges that create something else that makes it so that for whatever reason, it maybe even triggers something in you that starts you on a totally different path.
Yeah.
And it feels like something like that happened with his mother's passing. That
It
might have been
does.
a pivotal sort of hinge moment in his life.
Yeah.
And after that, something happened and changed his trajectory. Okay. But I don't think Kim married him before his mom died. I really don't know. Somebody
tell me. Did he marry her?
Chance, tell me.
Yeah.
Did Kim marry Kanye after his mom died or beforehand? In other words, did his mother's death contribute to this change for their marriage, or did she already know about that because that's who she married, the guy whose mother died?
Right.
I feel like that.
Now Horace is hilarious. He talking about the game show, talking about the Newlywed Game last week exposed his
marriage. So what does that mean?
Okay,
okay, go ahead.
Natural healer mom.
After.
So
then
okay,
you're
so
saying
she knew him after he went a little.
And that's what Bobby said too. After his mom died. So the point is,
so she
that
knew
was not the hinge moment.
That was not the hinge moment.
She married the guy who had that
Listen,
change.
but
he did become Christian.
I was just about to say she did not marry him as a Christian.
True.
Okay.
True.
And then when he became Christian, and we don't know details, but it just saying you guys, Chimes always keep us up to date on what we don't know.
Right.
But it seemed
Gabe
like
said his mom died 7 years before. So that's way ahead of time. Okay. So when she married him, she married the guy that was already impacted by his mother's death.
Right.
But there were some other things, which goes back to my point, right? There were some other things that happened in his life that put him on a different trajectory. I don't know how it happened, but for some reason he decided to become a Christian, and that I think put him on a different path than the one that his wife was on.
Right.
It seems like it at least.
Listen, that's fine. I mean, it can change the way you think and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you can't put your new thinking and your new values on the people that you are you married, or the people that you're living with, your children and all that.
Yeah.
And they knew you the way you were before. Like they did not change. They did not become Christian. Now Kim supported him.
Yes.
Because she was at all the church services and all of that. She was there.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But she kept making comments, and she, I heard her do a whole statement about how she did not like the fact that he was putting his beliefs or his values now on her and the kids.
Okay. Here's my question. How much of that is related to his trying to be the spiritual head of his home? He's trying to.
Nah, bruh.
What do you mean?
No.
I'm saying, okay, so hold on. So I have
being the spiritual head.
Hold on.
Okay.
I have a conversion experience, right? And and by the way, this is hypothetical.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. So
Gabe
hold up.
says he grew up a Christian, then went
threw it away
after his mom
died.
Then picked it back up
within
the past few years. Okay.
Okay.
So.
But if he threw it away, that means that he was not living the Christian life.
All right. So this is back to.
So she married him.
So hold on. Here's back to what I'm about to say. So natural healer mom says what I was thinking. Changes in personality, passions, hobbies can be tolerated, but significant changes in values, how can two walk together unless they are agreed?
Preach it.
Right. I agree with that.
That's
so
true.
Here's the point I'm making. What I'm really saying is, the moment he decides that he's going to go back to that, I think he has an obligation, if not an opportunity, to try to win his spouse to that as well. Now,
Okay.
now I'm
Okay,
not talking about
let's
forcing.
do this.
Because forcing it on her is one thing, but I'm saying trying to influence her and win her to that, I think that's a
Okay,
positive
John.
thing, or it can be a positive
Trying
thing.
to influence her
Yeah.
and lead her
Uh-huh.
is not the way. You do not do that by saying, "I don't want my daughter wearing makeup no more," or "I don't want my daughter wearing."
That's probably
you
true.
know, I don't want her wearing sleeveless. I mean,
Right.
that it's like what?
Right.
First of all, that actually makes me not want to come over to your side.
Mm.
It actually drives me away.
Yes, because you feel
Because
like
now it's like
I'm
you're
not making my own
forced.
decision. Now I'm just forcing
You're
this on you.
forced, yeah. And so
I agree with
that does
that.
not work. Now,
I agree with
now
that.
if he wanted to lead his family into this new direction just by being an example,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm going to show them that this is a better way
Mm-hmm.
by the way I live, but I'm not going to force it on them. That's how you lead. So he was not doing that.
Right.
Based on what she said, he wasn't doing that.
Based on what she said, yeah.
Yeah, that's
We're
what
not
I'm
there
saying.
to know.
I'm just
But
saying,
you're right.
based on what she said, he was basically forcing it upon them.
Right.
And probably the politics too. It probably led to when he was running for president, he got real,
Right, exactly.
he got real Trumpy with him.
Yeah,
you know
probably.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, so back to the thing a little bit, all right? So here's what I'm really asking. Here's the question. How much of an obligation do I have
Mm-hmm.
as the spouse who changed dramatically to try to be the same? Right? Mm-hmm. How much should I be trying to be the same? Okay, so when I say for better, for worse, till death do us part, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have an obligation to try to be the person that you married when we got married? You understand what I'm asking you?
I do.
Because what I'm saying is when this big change happens in my life, and it may be something that I don't feel like I can change
Hide
or
or-
hide
yeah.
or control.
Right.
Like all of a sudden now I'm starting to feel like my life doesn't have as much worth as I thought it did originally, and maybe I'm not doing the right thing, or I'm having some kind of midlife crisis. This happens all the time.
It does.
Okay,
It does.
so I have a midlife crisis. I become a
Whew.
different person.
Mm-hmm.
How much of an obligation do I have to be as similar as I was before when you married me? And then how much of an obligation do you have to love me through that, even if I do change? You see what I'm saying? I'm saying when I take this vow, how much of it's actually a vow? Or how much of it's based on how I'm actually being? You see what I'm saying?
I think I have more of an obligation to be patient with you through that,
Okay.
to love you through that.
Okay.
I do, because
Okay.
you can't really control when you are feeling like a different person. It's
Okay.
very hard to fake that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
agree.
feel like it's my obligation to make sure that I love you through that. But what do you mean through that? Like there may not be a through that. It may be just a that. This is it.
Right. Because
So-
I might not be going back to
You may
nothing
not be
else.
going
Yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah,
And so
yeah.
I'm saying is,
That's
did
true,
you
man.
change into somebody that I can, okay, this is different, but you know what? I can get used to this. Or I really don't like him anymore
Right.
because he's so different. And when
Yeah.
you said, I think
Who?
who said it?
I
Who
don't
said
know.
it earlier?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Natural Healer Mom.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
she said
Can she walk
changes in
together?
personality,
Yeah.
passions, hobbies can be tolerated.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure that I can put personality in there.
Mm.
Because yes, hobbies, passions, definitely, but personality,
Right. That's
it's
like changing like you're a different person.
yeah. Because I've
Right.
seen people who are with somebody who've been married with somebody and they have a sickness and they're a totally different person because
Yeah.
of their sickness,
Right.
like maybe some brain issues, and now and it's very hard for them.
Okay. So here's the question.
Okay.
The moment we determine that you're different, does
Personality wise,
Yes. Does that allow me now to be able to check out and say I'm not going to be married to you no more?
it doesn't allow you.
You better not say that because I might change. You know what I'm saying? I need to
doesn't,
know that somebody's
but
riding with me all the way through that thing. You know what I'm saying?
The reason why I huff like that is because it's like, man, how are you going to be able to be happy when you feel like this person is a different person?
So this is what I think we should
And
do.
can I say to you, you're not the same. You're different, and I'm not sure that I like this.
Yes, you can because you did
And-
that to me. I mean, I went through my thing.
Yeah, but that was different.
No, it wasn't. That bout of depression that I had after cancer changed my personality, babe.
It did.
But
I could tell that it was
I wasn't really me.
I know, but you could tell that you were going through something. You could
True.
tell that it wasn't a personality change. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like
Right.
it wasn't like this is the way you're gonna be.
Right.
So I'm saying, so I'm saying let me answer this question. She said, so you're
Okay.
saying
Wait,
this
wait.
is Alyssa Truman. So you are saying it is okay to leave someone with mental health issues? No,
Right.
I'm not saying you should leave it all.
Right.
I'm saying you should love them through it. I'm
Yes.
saying it's difficult.
Yeah, of course.
I'm saying that's hard as what?
Yeah, it is.
And that's why you hear me going, ooh, I don't know. And what I mean by I don't know is not, I don't know if I can stay. That's not what I mean.
Right.
Listen, that's not what I'm saying.
better
But
not
what
be.
I am
You
saying
know what I'm
is, whoa,
Right.
that would be hard as what?
Yeah.
Because if that's not what who you, especially if it's been years
Yeah.
that you know this person, you've been with this person, you love who this person is, and because of maybe mental health issues, or which Kanye has, or just something may happen, like with John. I mean,
Yeah.
he went through depression. That's kind of a mental health thing,
Right.
and he was different,
Right.
And let me tell you something. I prayed through that thing.
She said she was on her
Do
face.
you hear me? On
Mhm.
my face.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it?
Prostrate.
Prostrate, not prostate, not prostate, not prostate on the ground. Prostrate,
Right,
okay?
right.
So that was a difficult time. Now, like I said, we were able to talk through that and get out of that. But there are some people who don't come out.
Right.
So what do you do?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So,
What
so
do you
This is what
do
Primo said, and this
through
this
that,
is
to
where
get
I'm at
through
with
that?
mine. Right, when you commit to matrimony, you are committing to both who the person is and who they might become.
I agree.
And
Listen, I agree.
And this is what I'm saying.
You are staying through that.
And I'm saying sometimes I don't think we think that when we say that. I don't think we think, you know what? Here's what we think. There are circumstances of life that I can live through, and it's not a problem. Maybe we'll be rich, maybe we'll be poor.
yeah.
Maybe he'll have the flu, or maybe he won't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even when I think sickness, I'm not. Think about this.
You're not. You're
Answer
not
this-
thinking.
Tell
You're
me,
not.
are you thinking debilitating illness when
you're
you say
not.
that?
You're
That's
not
what
thinking
you're thinking.
that. No.
On your wedding day, you're just thinking things might be a little bit worse than it is right now, but it won't be terrible. And I can definitely commit to that. You know what I'm saying? But here's the reality. I'm saying, if we really believe the vows that we're saying, what we're really saying is, till death do us part. That means that's the only thing that keeps us from being married.
Yeah.
Everything else, come hell or high water,
That's true.
we're going to be together. I'm going to love you through that thing.
And-
Now,
and
that's hard.
It is hard, but I again, and this is
And
cliche.
you're welcome, Alyssa. We definitely were not saying that.
Yes. But I will say, and I'm gonna this is cliche, but man, you have got to pray through those things.
This
I mean, you can't get through that kind of stuff without prayer.
This is why I think, I don't think it's possible to remain married, let alone happily married, without a belief in God. I just don't see it. And I'm going to tell you why. The things that we're trying to do and accomplish as a couple are not possible to be done. I don't think they're possible without God. I'm
Yeah.
serious.
No, I
this
agree.
This is stuff that we're trying to do that is literally like superhuman type stuff.
It really is.
I can stay married to you as long as things are going well. But the moment things are terrible,
you
I'm
ready to
thinking
be
about ways
out?
to bail.
And see, that's not the way that it's supposed to
That's
be.
what I'm saying.
I'm saying sometimes you can get on your knees, but sometimes you got to get on your face.
Yes.
That's
exactly
the
right.
kind of, you know what I'm saying? There are different postures of prayer depending on.
Trisha says she did think about debilitating illness when she took her vows. That's good.
That
I'm
is
glad
good.
you did.
That is good.
That's real
now,
good.
after I got married, I thought about that. I already said I do, so I couldn't back out after that.
And that's what I was going to say. So let me tell you what happens, though. So stuff happens in life that makes you, okay, so first of all, April and I might be a little different because we were very young when we got married. She was 21, I was 22. So there were a lot of things I hadn't thought about when we got married. There were a lot I did, but there were a lot of things I hadn't thought about. I never really thought about my own mortality. I didn't think about the fact that I could die.
No.
And the very
Why do you
next
think about
year, not even
7 months after we got
later,
married.
we got into a major car accident. We almost died.
Okay, so that was a little sign too, because that was difficult, and John had to take care of me, like
yeah.
really, like
Right.
do everything for me.
I had to,
like
like,
I mean,
wash
I
your
even
hair and
had
stuff like
amnesia
that.
for a week. I
Yeah.
could not remember anything that had
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, that was
You know,
serious.
every day he had to tell me what happened the day
Right.
before, like
Right.
every single day. Like
Right.
it was very difficult,
was.
and he had to.
Somebody's busy tonight. Deborah.
We getting jacked tonight.
Yeah,
huh?
for real. We back here. There's 48 still with us, so I'm assuming this is back to the same exact feed
I
we were
hope
on
so.
before.
Y'all let us
You
know
what I'm
in
saying?
the
I was literally in the
comments.
middle of a sentence. All my comments are gone, so I have
Are
no
we
idea what you're
back?
saying right now. I'm assuming we're back. So if we are back, here's what I'm saying. I'm saying for the first time in my life, I thought about mortality. I thought about things like Okay, good. Same feed.
Okay.
Cool. Perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
We don't know what
Thank
happened,
you.
y'all. Our stuff is getting jacked
Yeah,
over here.
you know what, man? I need to like overhaul our entire system in here. I need to buy a bunch of stuff, right, Bobby? I just need to get just equipment on equipment. You know what I'm saying?
See what I'm saying? One thing happened,
He
and John
said
read.
they
We
said
froze
just
for 30
froze for
seconds?
That's cool.
Really? Okay.
If
Oh,
you're
good.
calling just frozen,
Okay. All right.
our thing actually said you lost your connection because of your internet or whatever. So anyway,
All right, let's get back
we
to
back.
it.
All right. So here's my point. My point is that my mortality was something I hadn't really thought about. I hadn't really thought about what would happen to April. I hadn't thought about losing my wife early in our marriage.
Nope.
I hadn't thought about having to, bathe her or anything like that. It's like all this stuff was crazy.
Yeah.
So now I thought about it for the first time. And I realized in that moment that when I made my vows, I really didn't make those vows having thought through all that stuff.
No, because actually, I went through depression during that time.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I mean,
that was when April had that after the
y'all,
accident. That's true.
I got skinny as what? Like,
hold on real quick. This is what I love. Ebony said she thought it was her internet.
Oh,
See,
good.
We should have acted like it wasn't
We
even
should
that.
act-
You know what I'm saying? We should have just kept on talking.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Everybody, what's wrong with your internet, y'all?
We should have.
Bobby said we got our internet from Aldi.
Buying stuff fixes everything. Primo, stop it.
I agree, Primo.
Stop it.
Primo, you are right. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Thanks, Angie. I'm glad to be back. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so what were you saying, babe? I didn't mean to-
Depression is real.
It's
Yes,
real.
Tiffany, it is. And
It's
let
real.
me tell you something. I'm not even gonna lie. That depression lasted some years, actually. You
actually
people,
didn't get over that until we went to seminary.
right.
And you had some
it was about
counseling sessions.
3. I would say it was about 3 or 4 years where it was like just
Yeah.
off and on. And depression doesn't necessarily, it wasn't like that where it was, it stayed around constantly, but
Yeah.
it was an in and out type thing.
Yes.
And I feel like I changed. And let me tell you, studies show that when people get married, they change within 18 months.
Wow. And the
They
study,
change within the first 18 months.
but the study you read made it sound like getting married itself helped to
Cause
precipitate the change.
Getting married
Yeah.
precipitates the change.
for some people.
For some people,
Which is
and
crazy.
it is not always positive.
Right.
So sometimes it's not. It's a positive change.
Sometimes.
Yeah. But this article and this study was talking about the negative changes that can come.
Yeah.
And you're right. 18 months for good or worse. You're asking. Yes. Well, it was really talking about for worse.
Yeah. In
The article was specifically talking about for worse, but I'm saying there has to be somebody who changed for better. I'm sure. I'm saying,
But here's the point, though. The point is that when your spouse changes dramatically to the point where you don't recognize them anymore,
what do you do?
What are we supposed to do?
That's the point.
And I'm saying,
I think
a
you have
person,
to embrace the newness.
That's what I'm
You
thinking.
got to just
That's right, and try to see if you can make that
try
work.
to see if you can find the
Which
good
is hard
in
as
that.
what? But here's what I'm saying. That's supernatural.
It is.
That's not the first thing that comes to mind.
That's true.
That's actually something that I believe is only something a godly person can actually try to do and,
Right.
and try to fulfill. And by the
Now-
way, let me include other people, because really I would say people that believe in a higher power. And when
I was
going
gonna
to
say that too. I was going to say that.
Let me explain.
I was going
let me
to
explain
say
what I mean
that.
when I say that. Okay,
Yes.
I believe that there are people out there who believe in God and don't necessarily use the same name we use. But I think it's the same basic thing, that they are aligning themselves with the person who has the ability to bring them through something like this.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? That's my
Exactly.
point.
Right. And I want to say, Ebony said, do you think it's a change or showing your real self? Right
Where,
there.
where?
Right there.
This right here?
Down, honey.
Oh,
Down.
this one right here.
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry. I couldn't see it.
Yeah. Do you think it's a change? And
this is what we were talking about earlier.
We were talking about that earlier. Like, are you? Because we have seen this where
Yes.
it's like somebody gets married and then they show their true selves, and you saw
And
because
the
we're on
person-
the outside.
yes,
we could
see
see the red flags, or we
Yes.
could see these little things like, they're not really. Oh, we see that this person's kind of like that, and then when they get married, they're able to just show who they really are because that's
Exactly.
it. For better, for worse,
We
you're
done
gonna
got
stay with
married
me,
now, so
right?
yeah, exactly.
So that is true.
So
I
in
believe
those
that
situations,
can take place.
Ebony, what I would say is the person who is dating them or engaged to them, at some point, which is why time is so valuable in these situations, at some point, you have to be willing to take the blinders off and try to really see this person for who they actually are. And there are times when, like you said, people all around you, your friends, maybe sometimes your family members, sometimes they're hating, but sometimes when everybody sees something, that's probably not
That's
hating.
probably-
that could
yeah.
be them seeing something you can't see because you're too close.
Right.
And you don't notice it. And then by the time you get married, it's too late now. You've already committed to this person.
Right.
Now they're free to show who they really are.
And then your blinders are off,
There
and
you
then
go.
you're able to see.
There you go.
Put up what Janine just said, because she's
right here.
yeah, right there.
Okay.
She said, I think Keenan changed for the better,
Uh-huh.
but the process of walking with him through that wore on me. Wow.
So she's saying that even a positive change in your relationship to your spouse could be something that maybe is a positive change for them, but for you and your relationship, it makes things more difficult.
And you know what?
And you have to have
Going
a
through that
resolve to say, I'm gonna,
process.
yes.
Because I mean, you're expecting this person to be that way.
That's right. When you get married that day, you know who that person is. You're expecting them to be like that until you die. And the reality is, most of us don't think, it might change from this. And if it does change, we're not thinking it's going to change to something I don't recognize at all. Like the person's totally different. Sometimes when a
Right.
person changes that dramatically, it just wears on you.
Yeah, because
it's a big
I
adjustment.
have a friend who said that her husband, who I know is fun loving, I mean, making jokes, laughing, always, having fun, and can see the fun in everything. Even if it's bad, you can, make the joke, whatever. And now he is just serious. When they have conversations, there's no fun in it. There's no, how do you, I mean,
Yeah.
because
especially if that
and
was
it
one of the
makes
things that you
her-
fell in love with.
yeah, that's what she
drew you
fell
to
in,
that?
and it makes her
Yeah.
not even want to be around him as much, because now he's a little bit more negative, which he could be going through some form of. I mean, I'm going back to mental health here.
Yeah.
But something he's going through that's
Yeah.
causing him to have this negative,
Yeah.
look on life right now.
Right.
But
Yeah.
see, I'm saying right now, but maybe it's not right now.
Right.
Maybe it's for good.
Right. So
You know?
Valita says this. Now that you mentioned that, COVID-19 has definitely taken its toll on my emotional well-being. It's been a challenge, especially being in school with children.
Yeah.
So I'm saying
Yeah.
even stuff like that
Right.
could have an impact. And what
Yeah.
if it sends your spouse down a spiral where like they don't come out of it? I mean, we've been now locked down in our homes with at least a partial type lockdown where things aren't normal. It's been longer than a year now.
Yeah.
And that can wear on you
It
and end up
can.
creating some kind of an issue. What if it changes your spouse now to a place where they're not even recognizable anymore? What do you do?
Well, it's funny because I think it changed my children, because I feel like my children were a little bit more extroverted. They were more wanting to go out and be with people, and now they're like if there's
Yeah.
an opportunity to go out,
They're like, nah, I'm
I don't
good.
want to go. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Who are these people? No,
Winston asked us, did you both have the same kind of depression?
No,
I don't think so,
I don't think so,
Winston.
because John's depression was very he withdrew.
Yeah.
He was
I was
not,
very distant.
He was distant.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's
I
say the
was,
depression had different effects on us. We'll
It
put
did
it that way.
It did. I dealt with mine alone.
She dealt with hers internally.
Internally.
She was faking like every day.
Every
There were
day.
times where I didn't know she was really having a problem. And it
Right.
wasn't until later on when she actually really got healed from that thing after some counseling.
that I was
that-
able to express to him what
Not-
I was going through.
Not
all
only
that
that, but I
time.
was able to see a difference after that. It was like
you didn't even know.
Right. She had been that
Right.
same way for so long. I didn't even know she was really dealing with that. And I don't think she really even knew until she went to her counseling session. And
No, I
then
knew.
You knew.
Oh yeah, I knew from the beginning, and
Yeah.
I just it was just me and the Lord, and I mean it was every time it was me by myself. Every time there was silence, it would be turmoil.
Yeah.
So I didn't want that to be the case.
Right. You don't have to be sitting there in your
I
feelings
did not
thinking
want
about
it.
that.
No,
Yeah.
because I didn't like that. I didn't like that feeling. So it was a bad spot.
Look at Bobby says, like
But-
walking with someone through alcoholism. That's another thing.
Yeah.
What if you marry
Yeah.
somebody that didn't have no problem, then all of a sudden something happened, they pick up a bottle and it starts, and now it's a totally
Have
different
we
person.
not seen that?
Yeah, we've seen it.
We have
Yeah, we've
seen
seen it.
that. Someone who would never drank.
Yeah.
And then they're in the relationship, and the relationship's circumstances. I think somebody said that earlier. They were saying that sometimes the circumstances can cause you to change.
That's right. That was Valita
You
saying
know?
that earlier, talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
COVID-19 stuff.
Exactly.
So here's the thing. We've actually counseled couples. We've counseled couples before where there was alcoholism involved and there was violence happening.
Mm-hmm.
We counseled the wife to separate, at least temporarily, for her own safety. So we didn't give her advice to divorce him, but we did give her advice to get to a place of safety. And we said, do not stop praying for him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That to me, this is my personal opinion. This is based on what we have gone through. I think that there are people that can pray for you differently than other people, and your spouse is one of them.
I agree.
I feel like when you go to the Lord for your spouse and you go on your face like that,
Yes.
I believe he does something for you. I think he does something different
Yes.
in those situations.
Especially if you're being patient
Oh, yeah.
with the person through that thing.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know?
Yes. I think that makes a difference, man.
I do.
So anyway,
I do too.
We
We got married in 1920 and are two different people. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're two
So
different people.
Ebony's
That's
got married.
true.
They were 19 and 20 years old. And that's the other thing, Ebony, that's a good point. April and I the same way. You know, we got married, we were kids. And now, I mean, it's been 20 years.
But
But
you
here's
know
the
what?
thing.
It
I
was
feel like we kind of grew together.
We did. I was going to say
there were
that. And
there
it
were
was
times where you were leading me. Sometimes I was leading you, meaning if this is the race towards betterment, there were times where it was a little bit uneven, but I felt like we always still moved in the same direction.
And there was no drastic change overnight.
Right.
You know what
That's
I
true.
mean?
That's
It was
true.
a gradual, like if we go back and think about like, man, I used to think like this or whatever, which I mean, I really did think differently
Yeah.
with certain things.
Right.
But it was a gradual change. So
Right.
it wasn't something where I felt like, you know, you're a different person now in
Right.
that
Right.
I don't like it.
Or I don't know you at all
Or I don't
anymore.
know
I don't
you.
recognize you.
Like I
Right.
watched the change.
Right. Yeah.
I enjoyed seeing
Yeah.
the change.
Yeah.
You see what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
That's
I
a
agree.
difference than when you're seeing somebody going downhill.
Right.
You're seeing a change in the negative
Right.
going down.
Right.
That's hard to watch. That's
It
hard
is.
to be patient with.
It is.
And so I'm saying you have to pray that thing through. And I feel like maybe showing them or interacting with them the way that you did. Not saying you're trying to change them back, but just, I don't know, to bring that flavor back in some way. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Because it definitely has to have it where you lose some flavor.
Yeah. So
If you're watching your man or
you're
your,
right.
or
It
your
would
woman
have
go
to
down.
affect stuff.
It would
in
have
some
to.
way. Siobhan says, "What if your husband changed for the worse? The lights blew out in your marriage. Like dating was better before you married him. Then when you marry him, he becomes complacent. What do you do?"
Listen, again, this is cliche.
I think
You-
seriously,
I-
like no joke, you need to like do something like go to a
I was like, you're going to go to therapy.
or go to. You might not be able to afford therapy. You could go to like some kind of marriage retreat. Or I'm literally not joking. I'm being dead serious, man.
No, I was laughing not because you said
could
that.
you could go to a 30-day, you know what I'm saying?
Intimacy boot camp.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
seriously, I'm
Dead
laughing.
serious, man.
Listen, this is listen.
Like I'm dead serious.
No, seriously, keep it up there because
serious.
let me tell you something, y'all. Do you know? Let me come right here so you can see me. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When John was going through his depression,
Uh-huh.
do you know that it was us going to a marriage retreat
That's what brought it out.
that brought that thing
Yeah,
out?
that was it.
We went to that's why I was laughing.
Right.
Not because you put that up, but that because it is real. We
Yeah.
went to a marriage retreat. And at that marriage retreat, at that marriage retreat, John, it's like because we were listening to God's word, we were listening to
We were with other couples.
We were there with other couples. We were
Yeah.
listening to how marriage should be, how marriage
Yeah.
saves you.
Yeah.
Hello, how
Yeah.
marriage will save you into
Yeah.
the kingdom.
Yeah.
Brought that dude out of that depression, and I'm saying
It actually set the
this-
stage for us to have a conversation that I was not willing to hear before then.
Right, he was not willing to.
She had been
I
trying
had
to have
been
this
trying to have a
conversation with me for
conversation.
months, and I was always shutting it down in some kind of way.
Yep.
And now,
it wasn't
because
until
of this retreat,
we
I
went
was
to the
actually
retreat
open. That's
that
right.
he was open to hear what I had to say.
Yep.
And that dude came out of it during the retreat. We
Yep.
went back home
Yep.
better than ever
Yep. That's true.
and never went back to
You're
that
right.
spot.
That's true.
Never went back.
So I'm telling you now, some of y'all need bootcamp.justjohnandapril.com. No
That's
lie.
right. Y'all need to sign
We're
up
still
today.
literally signing up people right now.
And this is our passion because we've been there.
Oh yeah,
We've been through it.
that's right.
And so
your marriage
it's like,
should not suck.
No,
one should.
it doesn't have to suck. And
You know what I'm
even
saying?
if you have it where somebody changes and they're not the same person that
Yeah.
you were with,
Right.
you can find ways to make that work if both are willing.
Yeah.
That's what I say. If both are willing
Yeah.
and you're willing to do things like go to a marriage retreat or go to some type of intimacy boot camp or even therapy,
Yeah.
those are things you can do that can help you get through that whole thing where
That's it.
you can then get to know your new partner.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Get to know the new
Yeah.
man or new woman that you're going to be with.
That's right. You
have to
gotta
if
do
it's for
something
better or
about
for
it.
worse.
You got to be proactive about that.
That's
thing.
right.
Look what Ed says. There was once a guy that stated after 60 plus years of being married to his wife, He felt like he dated 8 different women. I think people go through.
Do grow.
Shed,
excuse me. Shed, et cetera, throughout their life.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree with that. I think we change.
We do.
And see, the blessing comes if God allows it, and if he's merciful enough. The blessing comes that the changes that you make with your spouse along the way are changes that don't push you away from each other.
Yeah,
They're changes
that's the
that help you
thing.
to grow closer, and that it's possible to actually see your spouse change, knowing that you're going to change too, and the two of you can still grow together in that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But like Janine said earlier, she watched her husband change. It wasn't necessarily for the negative,
Right.
but it was a hard thing for her to see.
Correct. He changed for the better, but it was still difficult
Yes.
for them to
and,
go through.
And
It took
what
a
it
lot out
sounds
of
like
her.
to me is that she had patience.
That's right.
And I think that if you have to have patience and allow that person to develop into this newness that they're going into.
Yeah. Yeah.
Having that patience and just being there to support them as they're doing. And that is hard, but you can't do that without being flat on your face.
That's true.
I'm
Elaine
sorry.
says there's always something that triggers a change. Having a better understanding of why this change happens makes it a little easier, but it's still hard.
Yeah, and
I
you
agree
know
with
what?
You, Elaine.
That brings in empathy.
That's exactly
Elaine.
right.
That
Yeah.
brings in compassion.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. Okay, so
Hey,
Denise says
Denise.
this. Listen to this. Okay, Denise, what about when you become parents? Couples change then too. And
Yes,
she's right.
and I was going to mention that.
She's right.
That is so true.
There's a lot of growth and spiritual growth too, and it could be individual growth or as a couple. That's very true.
Yes, and the whole point I think is when you have those changes, because I think I changed when we had kids.
Oh, there's no question.
You know, I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
And I think that
And it wasn't
what was
easy.
I gonna say?
I
I forgot what I was gonna say.
let me take it
No,
from
I wanted
here.
to say something.
Maybe you'll remember while I'm saying it. April changed during that time, and it was not easy on the relationship at first, and then she wasn't changing enough for me in certain instances
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
and
yeah,
that
yeah,
became
yeah,
another
yeah,
issue.
yeah.
It was like I wanted certain things to happen and to kick in immediately once she became a mother, and I had to
Yes.
become patient with that kind of stuff
yes,
too.
and this is what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
When you have strategies in order to get through these things,
Yes.
that is what helps you to get. I mean, as a teacher, I'm
Yeah.
always talking about strategies.
Yeah,
I always
yeah,
tell my kids,
yeah.
you can be excellent readers, even if you don't score these high scores on tests, if you have strategies.
Yeah.
Strategy is the key. And that's
Right.
why, again, I'm not trying to say, but when we went to that marriage retreat,
They were given us strategies.
we were given strategies.
That's it.
We were given strategies to be able to communicate properly,
Yeah,
so I can
yeah.
know, why are you going into this direction?
Right,
What are you
right,
feeling? And
right.
then you can have that compassion because you now know why, which is what Elaine said. When you know where it's coming from,
then it makes it,
Then it makes it
makes- it
easier
might be
to-
still hard, but at least
it
you're
makes it-
not killing yourself to figure out what's going
yes,
on.
and it makes it easier for you to support.
And that's exactly right.
You
And
know?
empathize and all that kind of stuff.
So, join our intimacy boot camp.
That's right.
If you feel like you need to get some strategies, because there
We
are
can help
so
you.
many great strategies out there.
Look what Dana says. I know I've been about 10 different women. Sorry, husband. Dana, you're not even that old. You can't be 10 and
Not
you're
now.
not even 40 yet. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about, girl? Anyway.
Oh, my goodness.
So look at this. Couples change as their kids enter different stages.
Yeah,
New parents,
yeah.
parents with school-age kids,
Yep.
parents with teenagers, empty nesters. You're so
You are
right,
so
Gabe.
right.
That is so true, man. And when it really comes down to it, the question is, will we have enough grace to be able to absorb the change when it happens with our spouse, knowing that we're going to change too, or we already have changed in some way.
Yeah.
None of us stays exactly the same.
Right.
Now, we've been talking about some extreme stuff. We've been talking about major things happening in your life. Like we've heard about changes that happen with couples when they maybe lose a child or something like that.
Yes,
And
yes,
something
yes.
major
That's-
happens to
yeah.
them. It may cause some kind of a break.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that creates a real problem in their relationship. This is what it goes back to, and I want to reiterate it. April said it earlier. You might have missed it. Here's the thing, y'all. God is using your marriage. It's not just for your happiness. He's using it to save your
save
rind.
you.
God's trying to save you.
To save you.
So there are some times that you go through stuff and you're trying to figure out, why am I going through this? He's trying to develop your character. You know what I'm saying? and by the way, I can't think of a better character development situation than being married to somebody where you have to literally share everything with them and share your life, your money, your
Yes,
car, your
yes,
house,
yes,
whatever.
yes.
There are things that you learn in marriage that you may not learn in any other kind of
Yep.
relationship. God's
because
trying
you
to
have
save
and
you.
it's because you have to give up self.
Oh yeah, every single day, man.
And
You know
that's
what
the
I'm
whole point. Jesus gave up, and he's trying to teach us how to give up.
Yeah.
And in marriage, that's what you do.
That's it.
You give up. And so, supporting and me giving up my right to myself for your sake,
Yeah,
that's deep.
it's deep.
And that's hard. But
It
it
is
is
hard.
not so difficult that we can't do it, because I really believe that if you are prayerful
Yeah.
and you're constantly in prayer asking God to help you to have that grace
Yeah.
and have that empathy and that
Yeah.
compassion
Yeah.
and that patience
Yeah.
and that long suffering.
It's-
Man, that
it's-
word long suffering.
Everything you just said is
woo,
godly.
Suffer long.
Everything you just said is part of God's attributes.
It is.
It ain't ours
No,
naturally.
it's
look,
not.
Look, look
It's
what Primo
not.
just said, man. Listen, I think people believe in this, April. I really do. I think people want to do something for couples. He just said, can I get 2 couples to go with my wife and I to sponsor a couple to attend the Intimacy Bootcamp? $100 per sponsor couple, $300 total. Can sponsor a couple who may not be in the position financially,
True.
but need the teaching. Who is able and willing? Let's go cheer for givers. Let me just say, I'm glad you put that out there, because I said it at the top of the show that I was preaching earlier today, and the group that I preached for, they allowed us to talk about what it is that we're doing for the Intimacy Bootcamp, and they said they were going to sponsor some couples, and they decided to sponsor 3 couples, where they were going to pay half of their registration. The registration now is $297, and so half of that would basically be $150, basically what they decided to do, and I thought that was great.
Yeah.
There was another couple who wanted to go, and they wanted to be a part of this, but they didn't have the money, and this exact thing happened. Somebody sponsored them, the whole thing. That's back when it was still early bird, though, and they sponsored them to be able to come, and now they can come and be a part of this.
And they were so happy,
They were so happy about
because
it.
they're really in a bad place
I think
right
they're
now.
in a rut right now.
Yeah.
And I think they know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel now, that they can see something that might actually be able to help them out. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so they talking about you ain't lying. Oh,
But
my
let
goodness.
me tell you, you can go through a lot of.
Horace said count us in. Wow.
All right.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
Thanks, guys.
I
We
think
really
that there are
wanna-
people that are really going to be able to benefit from this if you decide to do that. I really do. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
because I believe, like you said,
Suffering long, Denise said.
let me tell you, that long suffering.
Yeah.
Woo, and that's if you think about it, that's what we have to do for each other.
Yeah.
And Truman, I definitely want to reiterate that we definitely are not saying you should leave or divorce. That is not
No.
at all.
No.
What we
No.
are saying is you should patiently go through
Supporting your
whatever
spouse
it
through
is
that.
you
Yeah.
got to support your spouse through whatever it is they're going through. Be there.
Yeah.
And it actually could bring them back.
Yeah.
You
and
know
I,
what
and
I
I,
mean?
and I want to say something else while I put this up there. You know what I'm saying? Let me just say one more thing to try to convince you
Wow.
about Team John.
Y'all should go for Team April just because he did that.
But seriously though, one more thing. I believe it's
Am I
also.
on green screen? You got me on green screen, baby.
Oh my goodness!
I'm
Look at
a
you.
brick wall
Look
right
at,
now.
Look
See-
at
see what
April's
you do to
shirt,
me?
You know what I'm saying?
He did that. Some people would say Team John. They'd be like, why is she a brick wall? I'm not voting for her.
Here's what I'm saying, man. When it really comes down to it, God's trying to save us through our marriages. But here's the thing: most of us think about leaving each other too quickly. We give up so easily in these situations, having not really tried everything. I'm telling you
We
right
do
now.
give up easily.
We do. I'm telling you right now. Sometimes fighting for your relationship, even through being married to somebody who's unrecognizable,
Yeah.
sometimes fighting through that will develop your character in ways that nothing else will.
And not even that, fighting through that actually brings you closer together.
No question
And you'll
about it.
end up having a better relationship after
Yeah.
you have, gone through that, after you've given that patience, that long suffering.
Yeah.
And then it comes to the end, you guys are closer than you've ever been,
Yep.
and you have a better relationship than you had before.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
Yeah.
So stick it through.
Primo just asked, how do we send the money to sponsor?
I mean, that can.
You know what? You could just Cash App it, and then we could.
Yes, because there was somebody who said they wanted to. Siobhan Ross.
Was Siobhan one
She
of the
said,
people?
I would like to go, but we don't have it financially. So
Oh, Siobhan wants to go. Oh,
we
maybe
need
she could be the one that
we
we
need to write this
sponsor.
down. We
So
need to
okay,
sponsor
we're gonna write
Siobhan.
this right down. So
Siobhan, we wanna make sure you get
so
sponsored.
Primo said it, and so did Horace.
Yes.
They said they wanted to go in. I don't know if we have a third person yet, but one more person, and we can sponsor Siobhan to be able to go. She's one of our chimes. She's here right now. We can sponsor her to be able to come to our 30-day intimacy boot camp. She and her husband, and we can get all your information, Siobhan. So
Yeah.
Siobhan, I want you to email us. Email us at johnandapril2000@gmail.com so that we don't mess up this and we don't forget about this. And Primo, if you want to Cash
that
App
in.
us, we can just send the information to you so that you guys can do that. The cash tag is Nixon II, Nixon, 2 capital I's. That's the cash tag, and you can send that directly to us, and we'll make sure that Siobhan, if we get your email address of you and your spouse, we can make that happen. If we get one more person, we can do that. So thank you guys. That is awesome. Absolutely
Yeah,
awesome.
Siobhan, I'm gonna reply to Siobhan.
Yeah.
right
Siobhan already said something to us?
now. I'm gonna give her our email.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Do that right now. We'll put it in the comments right now for you. Bobby says Kinetic Communications will sponsor a couple. Oh, wow. Oh, my
Wow.
goodness.
All right. Well, there you go. We'll
So,
sponsor
so,
a couple.
so I don't understand what
Okay.
you're saying, Bobby. Are you saying you'll sponsor a couple totally, or are you saying you're gonna go jump in with these guys so we get? Okay, there you go. We got it.
All
Davis,
right.
Kennedy, Facey. All right,
There
perfect.
you go. All right,
Beautiful.
Siobhan.
So Siobhan, you got it.
We gotta give
Congratulations
you-
to you.
Yay,
We're excited for it. We're excited to have you.
guys.
Thank you
So
guys for your
glad
generosity
doing this for
and for
Siobhan
doing that for
Ross.
her.
That's
I
awesome.
believe something's gonna happen to
Okay, Siobhan,
awaken
let me send
something.
you.
Know what I'm saying? That is awesome. Oh, Roxanne, your first time on. Good to have you.
Hey,
Glad you are
Roxanne.
here. Thank you for joining us tonight. Glad you're here. We're just wrapping up. We usually come on at about 9 o'clock. Oh, Bobby said those spots are a couple totally.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Is there another couple?
So then we need
Bobby
a
will
third to
sponsor
join
you.
in. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. So we're going to try to find a couple because there are couples that have come out to say that they'd like to be able to come, but they don't have the funds to be able to do
Right.
that. And we could sponsor 2 couples. Bobby would do one, and the other ones could be done by the other 2 who are so far there. And we may be the other ones to just fill in that last 100 if we need to. you
Right.
know?
All right, Siobhan. Take our email address down and email
Yes.
us if this is what you guys choose to do.
Yes.
Because you have a sponsor. Is there anybody else
Yeah.
who wants to be sponsored? Let us
And they're
know.
saying, Madeline talking about Team John and April, Elaine,
Team April all
day.
Love you, Elaine. Yeah, girl. Can you press it again? So we can
Oh,
get
you
that
want
music
one more
back? Yeah,
time?
shout.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
shouty.
Well, you know, if we bring it back, then people need to start saying Team John because so far I haven't gotten nothing. You know what I'm saying? Team John needs to be in this piece. You know what I'm saying?
Siobhan, when you sign up, when we get you signed up,
Horace said we could do 150 primo, so he's saying we'll do half.
wow,
That's what Horace
guys,
said.
you are
Wow.
awesome.
Man, you guys are amazing, man. I think this is when to literally pour into someone's
It
life.
is,
They'll
it
never
is.
forget this.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Never, ever in their life. That's huge. Well, we thank you guys.
Thanks,
we have enjoyed
Karen.
ourselves. Thank you, Karen.
Thanks,
and we always
Trish.
enjoy
I think
being
I'm
with
winning.
you guys. Primo said Team John.
Team men need to buy
things. Thank you. Thank
No,
you. That's
Primo.
true.
Teams were the same today.
Oh, he
Team
on my Team
Apron.
Apron.
Thank
Well,
you,
all right.
Gabe. Look, see, John never says thank you for those. He just wants it to be Team
Just
John.
because I'm getting shellacked already.
No
you know
Team
what I'm
J
saying? That's not
Pro,
fair, man.
no Team Apron,
Anyway, y'all, we're gonna be right back here again next Wednesday. But if you need a fix in between there, remember on Fridays we always drop an episode. So we will have an episode on our YouTube channel.
Yes, it's gonna
that
be a
is
good
just-
topic this week.
Just search Just John and April if you haven't gone yet to subscribe. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll be on there this
Yes, let me say
Friday.
that again. We need y'all to subscribe. If you are a Chime
Yeah.
and you have not
It
subscribed
don't make no sense.
to our YouTube channel, just John and April,
It
you
don't
have
cost.
to do that.
It don't cost no money.
It costs no
You know what I'm
money.
saying?
See, back in the day, subscribing you got to pay. You don't have to
Right,
pay. Well,
exactly.
actually, subscribe still means that with some stuff today.
That's true.
Everybody
That's
wants
true,
you to
but not
subscribe.
with YouTube. You know what I'm
But
saying?
this is free.
Yeah.
Just press subscribe, and
Yeah.
that helps us out. That keeps our stuff rolling.
It does. So anyway, we'll see you guys, some of y'all on Friday with the episode. The rest of y'all will see you again next Wednesday.
That's
And we'll be right
right.
here again for Ask John and April Live. Thanks so much for being a chime.
All right, thanks for being a chime.
And we'll make sure next week it actually works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, pray church.
We love y'all.
Love y'all.
All right, y'all. See y'all
See
next
ya.
week.